At night, the sky suddenly turns into fire. A burning ball rushes in from far away. At first, it can look like a meteor, but no. These are Iran's ballistic missiles. In seconds, that fire falls on Israeli ground, one blast after another. Cities shake. Military bases shake. The sky feels out of anyone's control, only flashes, smoke, and fear. People run to shelters. The harsh sound of sirens makes the night even more tense. How much damage happened? How many lives were lost? Still not clear. There are claims that Israel is keeping many details hidden. So fear grows even more because uncertainty makes panic stronger. Where did this fire begin? It began with Israel's strikes. Air attacks hit Tehran. Iran's state TV building was hit. Evin Prison was also hit. Tehran called it direct aggression. Then came a warning there will be a crushing reply. And that reply is now unfolding. Iran launched dozens of missiles. Together, targets included Tel Aviv, Beersheba, Ashdod, and other areas. From north to south, sirens sounded across Israel. This was not only an attack, it was a message. If you hit us, the fire will reach your home too. Then came a dramatic pause. Iran suddenly stopped attacks for 7 hours. Israel felt some relief, but the relief did not last, because it was the calm before the storm. Between March 2nd and March 3rd, attacks began again at night. Stronger missiles, sirens again, people again running from homes to bunkers. Israel's defense forces said the attacks came directly from Iran. Air defenses came under heavy pressure. Iron Dome tried its best. Defense units worked through the night. Interceptor after interceptor was launched. Still, there is doubt whether every missile was stopped, and that doubt tightens fear inside people's chest. Analysts say Iran fired many missiles at the same time to overload the defense. This is the saturation method, when defense systems must track many threats at once. Some can slip through gaps. In some places, missile fragments fell and caused damage, even without early reports of mass deaths. The danger was clear in the sound of the sky. Now, the war enters daily life. Israel's main international airport was shut. Airspace was temporarily closed for security. Officials said flights may return only in limited numbers. People get stuck. Tourists get stuck. Patients get stuck. War does not stop where bombs fall. It also stops people from moving. The United States also warned its citizens. It told them to leave several Middle East countries. The list includes Israel, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and more. So the fear is not trapped at one border, it is spreading across the region. An even bigger issue is the wider reach of Iran's attacks. Iran launched hundreds of drones and missiles, not only Israel's bases, embassies, and Arab partner countries are under pressure too. Energy facilities were also hit. That is where the world starts to shake, because a shock to fuel supply reaches every home and every market. The US military said some of its troops have been killed in this conflict. More casualties are feared. Iran issued a harder warning. General Ibrahim Jabari said, if the US and Israel keep striking Iran's key sites, Iran will hit economic centers across the whole region. But war has another face when you cannot see. An invisible war. Electronic warfare. Imagine a huge drone in the sky. No gunfire, no explosion. Yet suddenly the drone loses control and falls into the sea. No smoke, no sound. It is like killing technology in silence. How can that happen? Radar jamming can blind enemy radar. GPS spoofing can show a drone a false map. Data link disruption can cut the control signal. This is how the MQ-4C Triton missing story is being explained. Iran's message becomes chilling. We can blind your eyes and ears without firing a missile. And even inside this fire, diplomacy continues. Trump shows pressure with one hand and a negotiating table with the other. Talks in Oman are being discussed, but the gap is big. Trump wants zero uranium enrichment, an end to ballistic missiles, and an end to regional interference. Iran says this hits its sovereignty. Missiles are its red line. So the final question is simple, but the answer is hard. Will Oman open a path to solutions? Or will the fire in the sky spread even farther?